Hey there, folks. Lucifer Lega Borden here with a special guest. I'll introduce this handsome bearded fellow in just a minute and whatnot. And we're going to have a really wonderful conversation. This is a guy everybody knows, and I hate to say it, very few people like.
I didn't want to be likable now, did I? And by the way, he's lying. I'm really Santa Claus's brother. I just had a shorter beard today.
There you go.
Travel beard.
Anyways, so we'll be getting into who this fellow is in just a minute. If you're new to the channel, welcome and whatnot. Great to see you all. As usual, if you like what you see and like what you hear, and you like seeing two old farts banter back and forth, go ahead and hit that like button, that share button, and subscribe to the channel, and have a good laugh at us down below. Just a few promotionals before we get into a very rare on-camera interview with this fellow. You've been interviewed a few times on camera.
A lot in the past, but I've been
But
hiding.
nothing very recently.
This is my first return video, and I got the chance to come over and hang out with this gentleman here. How about that?
Yep.
Some business I was doing.
Just gonna tell you, this is Peter Gilmore, all made up in his new face after plastic surgery. Yep.
Got old.
Yeah, if you believe that, I'm Santa Claus myself. Anyways, so welcome to the channel and whatnot. It's great to have you all here for this special video. Before we jump into it, I wanted to say the new Cloven Hoof is out, and it will be linked down below. Go pick it up, and remember, 50% of the proceeds from this issue of the Cloven Hoof does go to Sharon LeVay to help with funerary costs for Stanton, and may he rest in power and whatnot. And yeah, so go pick up the Cloven Hoof, and we'll be linking that down below. It really does help out with them, and helps us out too, and everything. So yeah, that'd be really great. Now that I got the shameless plug out of the way.
Oh, come on, that's a great magazine too, by the way.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's all sorts of.
And he brought it back.
Yeah,
he brought it back from the back in the day. I used to pick it up. It was a little.
We have articles like directly from Stanton himself, with permission of the LeVay family. This magazine was actually supported by Stanton LeVay and the other LeVays when they found out that we brought it back. We have comic strips in it, and we have some wonderful centerfolds. Ooh, can't show that. Not on YouTube.
Damn.
Yep. And we have other articles too. So
do I know her? Oh, I'm sorry. I want to apologize, my lady.
Anyways, so yes. You can find the Cloven Hoof on sale from the STS website, and you can find it from there, and it's only about $15, so plus shipping and handling. So go pick up your copy of the Cloven Hoof and help out a few people. So now actually getting on to the subject of this video. This is an individual who we never really got a chance to speak way back in the day.
No.
But you ended up buying a copy of the first edition of the Testament.
Yes, I did. Yes,
and what did you think of that?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed your writing style, and a lot of you know that I've always been kind of close to the bone in my theistic Satanism view. And I like the writing style in it out of a lot of books.
Okay.
There's the books fill a million shelves out there, but that was probably one of the better ones.
Okay.
I'm not saying that. Not kissing the ass of the host. It really was. Pick up these books. This gentleman writes really well. He's got a good freeform style that a lot of Satanists can really kind of get their teeth into.
Okay. So, just to finally actually introduce who this guy is, in case you don't know, because I don't think there's really any pictures of you with a beard.
No.
It's always been clean shaven.
Incognito with dyed hair. I always had my hair dyed, actually. Those of you on Facebook, and I can see what I literally look like without hair dye. But
So just to let everybody know, this is the infamous, the nefarious, the world hated, I believe.
Someone's got to do that role, don't they?
Grand Magister Blackwood. This is the legit guy. I'm not even playing with anybody. Yeah. This is legitimately Grand Magister Tom Blackwood.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. A lot of people today like to call me Dr. Tom, but it's all right. I like the old title because at the end of the day, I'll always be a magician still.
Yeah.
So, you know, even though I've fought a lot of people, I've fought a lot of things, done a lot of dirty things for people because, again,
we used to have some of the same rivals back then.
Yes. And you know, a lot of those people come and go, and the thing is, you know, he stuck around, I've stuck around, some of the other people have stuck around. We've all had to weather this all, but
and now we all sort of like...
We get along now.
Yeah, we all get along
and that's a secret a lot of you don't know. A lot of you think that...
A lot of people still slander you and slam on you publicly.
Thinking I'm still mean as ever as I was. And I've been mean. I mean, I'll set your house and burn it down if I feel like it. But I'm here to tell you, they don't understand that at the end of the day, many of the organizations in Satanism work together. We may not always talk or agree, but we actually have conversations. And it's not butt kissing or anything like that. It's
and I think especially what STS does is we're trying to rebuild a lot of the burned bridges from like 15 years ago.
Good thing.
When everybody was literally at each other's throats. You know, with all the recent events with the Cult of Cthulhu that's been going on, even Venger has been talking with people in the community again recently. And he, you know, if you remember a few years back, he left and he's been doing his RPG.
I thought he was a Christian now, but I don't know.
No, he's definitely not a Christian to the best of my knowledge.
I don't know. Maybe somebody, I don't know. Maybe somebody else.
Well, no, if you remember, it was one of Michael Ford's friends who jumped over to Christianity.
As you get older, you forget things. You know?
Yeah.
Look at the guy who's in office. This is
the actual, very real Grand Magister Blackwood. I actually go by the term Hexenführer in STS. I don't use the term Magister or Grand Magister.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
And just in STS. Well, you know, if other people outside want to call me a Magus or a Magister, that's fine. I mean, it's not a term that we utilize in the organization. But all it really means is witch leader. Or a leader of witches.
I kept the name for a long time. I mean, you'll see me switch back and forth between Dr. Tom and this. And yes, I really do have a doctorate, but I have a master's from Michigan State. People approach me all the time and go, we know you got your doctorate online. It's a doctorate in divinity. No, it's a doctorate in theology. I had amassed so many classes that you could do what's called amalgamation.
Yeah.
So you can get an online doctorate. Yes, you could even be a medical doctor online, provided you have all the classes and you do a thesis.
Yeah.
And a lot of people attack me over it. I'm sorry, you jealous sycophants out there, but yeah, I'm sorry. At the end of the day, I have a master's.
I know that sounds mean and everything, folks, but it's honestly true. Guys like Tom and myself, we have a lot of people who do support us. Tom has shifted more into the background in the recent years, and he's sort of coming back out of the woodwork again. You kind of do like that every once in a while, like pack of termites, don't you?
Yeah, you know, one thing that I don't let Satanism affect a few things. Like Satanism won't affect my family, okay? The people in it, okay? They won't affect my relationships with my family, and they won't affect my business life. During this time, I took a hiatus. And during that time, I developed a few things like my business.
Yeah.
As some of you know, I had a heart attack, and nobody threw a spell at me. It's because I inherited it from my dad. Thanks, Dad. Rest in peace. But just some things. I had some changes in my life, and I made some changes for the positive. And moving to another state, I'm not going to get into that.
And I bet you all the fighting online from years ago, that really didn't help things health-wise for you, did it?
No, not really.
I mean, with that sort of thing, you're going to want to, at some point, you got to make the decision, do I want to worry more about my health, or do I want to be getting into that all the time.
Also with drama and the internet and social media, I'm trying to go away from social media. Not you're going to go, oh, what? I'm trying to go away from social media where I don't have to interact with a bunch of people I don't like. And that's the thing, because constant conflict is also really stressful on people.
It is. It really is, and it's not healthy. It's not what Satanism is about at all. At the end of the day, you know, a lot of people. This was a big thing from back when we were younger.
Yeah.
And you don't hear about it as much, but you do occasionally hear people talking about the term of satanic unity. And me personally, I don't think we'll ever have full satanic unity across the board.
Paganism thought they would, and they never got it. So
yeah, but
you think Satanism will?
What we can achieve is tolerance of each other.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm not scared to sit down with anybody. That's one thing that the people know about me. If there's a fire, I'm like a fireman. I run into fire. I don't care.
Yeah.
If you want to sit down and have a conversation with me, I'm good for it. If you want to sit back and try and stab me in the back, I'll stab you in the fucking back in a minute. Okay, I'll do the same. I'm the same for sane.
Yeah.
Okay. However, if you want to have a nice meeting, like this gentleman and I are having a meeting, and et cetera, that's a good thing to do. I mean, we need to cooperate. We may have different paths, even though it's all same, but we got to cooperate. We can't be like off here and arguing this anymore. I mean, meanwhile, and I can tell you this, fast forward, let's go back. I'm 58, okay? And let's just say I started when I was 19, okay? That's a long time. In 40 years, Satanism hasn't went anywhere. When are we going to get going here? When is somebody going to do something?
Yeah.
Everybody did it all in the 60s, and then it died. Nobody did anything anymore. We just argued.
Yeah,
we argued.
Sort of
and what did we do? We argued and fought and pissed on everybody, and, you know, cost this guy his job and all these different things. But what got accomplished out of all that? Nothing. Yeah. Zero. Absolutely zero.
Yeah, all the conflict didn't really go anywhere. I mean, of course, you know, we had the development of the Temple of Set. We had the development of the Temple of the Vampire. We had First Satanic Church crop up because of Garland not wanting to give in to the atheism of Peter Gilmore. And so we did have minor progression forward. We had the access to it. But just like you said, in a lot of ways, Satanism did stagnate for the longest
40 years.
Time. Yeah.
I can tell you this from me. 40 years it sat there. I opened up one of the first brick and mortar churches in Satanism in Dearborn, Michigan in 1999. Stayed open till 2007. And people lost interest. Not because I lost interest. Not because I had people around me lost interest. People went to the internet. So all you people that sit there on the internet and cry, I'm a Satanist, how about you get out and participate? How about form a gathering, do some rituals together, do things with other people, meet other people. Yeah. I'm not here because I'm trying to be an introvert. I'm here because I'm an extrovert. Yeah. I like meeting other people.
Yeah. Now, because I know how you can get Tom, and I know how a lot of people tend to...
motherfucker.
I know how people react to this fellow. Now, I'm going to be honest with people. A lot of people don't like how he speaks. A lot of people don't like what he has to say. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of what he says is correct. Whether you want to admit it or not, what this man has been through. I've only been a Satanist since about 2005, 2006. Or not... Yeah, 2005, 2006, something like that. So I haven't been a Satanist as long as this man's been around. All right? You were around during the time of Anton LaVey. You actually went to the Black House.
I met Anton LaVey.
Yeah.
And again...
You're a former church state member.
Former church state member. I was invited there. I went there with some people. And nice guy. I mean, very nice guy. And I just, that's what... I looked at my surroundings there, and I didn't agree with what was going on. So I said, let me go out and do my own thing. Many of us do that. Many of us go, I don't like Wicca. I don't like, Thelema. I don't like, so I'm going to start my own thing. Yeah. Well,
Satanism I've always found has been more of for most people, 90% of people, it is what I would call a transitory religion. It's that in-between stage for many people.
I took the opportunity to wear my very first organizational shirt, just to give people an example here. This was my very first organization. I'm not bragging because it doesn't exist anymore, just like many of your organizations don't exist anymore. This was my first organization. Then I went to what was called the Temples of Satan, and then Church of Theistic Satanism. So we've evolved, and today it's Temple of Serpent, which it's evolved a little bit. It's changed. It's dynamic. Of course, as any organization has experienced, you've had ebb and flow. At one time, I've had 500 plus members. I had gatherings with several hundred people, down to now having a gathering and having 25 if you're lucky and it's your national meeting. So I don't know where it all went, but you know what? With cooperation, we can rebuild things. But when?
And
do we want another 40 years to go by before this dude has got gray hair and a beard sitting here talking to you? Or do you want to get behind somebody like this guy or whatever and let's kind of communicate here and try and move things ahead? I mean, otherwise we're just going to be stagnant.
Yeah.
I'm going to die. I can imagine, we're all going to die, but I'm going to die and everybody's going to be doing the same thing they did 40 years ago. Why?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the big thing that a lot of people don't really realize about Satanism is that there is a huge potential to move forward in the world and do new things. One of the things about STS is that we don't like to stay stagnant with things. We're always trying to do something new, or bring back something old that's been lost.
That's what I like about this guy.
Bring back something old that was lost, like the Cloven Hoof and whatnot. You used to read the Cloven Hoof, right?
Yeah, I read the original.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. Again, it was a little too much. We had a lot, actually, in the 80s, we had a lot of magazines that were boutique-style magazines. Mm-hmm. You could actually pick up the Cloven Hoof at many stores.
Oh, really?
Yes. But it was...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it had some popular... I don't know what the readers...
I knew that you could get it at stores like Magical Child up in New York City, but I didn't know how...
I got it in Michigan before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, at a local bookstop shop. There wasn't Amazon and stuff like that. There was many more bookshops back then. Mm-hmm. So
a lot more ordering from catalogs went on. Yeah. And whatnot.
There was one...
I kind of wish that would go on now.
The gentleman who, in the band Aasarism, Vincent Crowley.
Okay.
He was either married or his girlfriend had a magazine that came out of Ohio.
Yeah.
And we could get both Cloven Hoof and her magazine. I think her name was Sin Satana, or I don't remember what her real name was. It's been some time ago. You get old like the Alzheimer's shit. But no. But she had a great magazine, and you could pick up both of those magazines at most better bookstores. So the Cloven Hoof enjoyed a lot of success that way. But we all know with the advent of, in this new rendition of Cloven Hoof is great, okay? But in today's world, so many people do digital magazining and stuff like that. So.
See, we have the ability, and one of the ideas was to put a digital version of the Cloven Hoof out. And I know a lot of people would like that if we did that.
Can you do both?
We could. We honestly could. And I'm pretty sure it would be successful, but I think a lot of people, a lot of our members, they appreciate the fact that it's in a physical format.
Okay.
Just like how it used to be.
That's what I used to do.
You got the inside cover, just like the old days. You got the whole cover page, with a table of contents, and you can go through it page by page and see all the wonderful imagery.
My lady's gonna kick my ass.
I am being a bad influence on him, ma'am.
Yeah, there you go.
But so yeah, I mean, you got all sorts of things, and then you got your back cover, and
And what is a satanic magazine without having some beautiful women in it?
Oh, exactly.
Indulgence.
You gotta have
even though I was never a big LaVey fan, but he always said about indulgence, and I always thought that was an important factor. And I've been a theistic Satanist, so I've been a little different from that regard, but doesn't mean I wasn't enjoying indulgence.
So let me ask you this question, all right? Because I know you are a heavy, heavy critic of Anton LaVey and whatnot, and especially you are a heavy critic of the atheistic Satanism and whatnot. What is your actual viewpoint on the modern resurgence of quote-unquote non-theistic Satanism in the form of the Satanic Temple?
Ooh, bad subject. For a lot of you who don't know this, Doug had made basically had made a big petition against my church, which was Church of Theistic Satanism. And him and I had a big courtroom drama. I had to wait 2 years.
Wasn't your organization at one point called the Temples of Satan?
Yes.
And a lot of people used to just call it the Satanic Temple.
Yes, the people had. So we went to court, and fought. He went out there and put out all kinds of stories about, there was a goat that was murdered in Detroit, and it was left in the street. So for his little dirty trolling of me, he decided to go out there and state that that was Temples of Satan members. Okay? No, it wasn't. I was out of town. Girl was out of town. No one could lead a ritual of that extent. We would, again, I've tempered my animal rituals, ever since they made that sort of hard to do in certain areas, but because I do historical rituals, don't get me wrong. But
which does include historically animal sacrifice.
Yeah. If you were to
not even going to sugarcoat it.
Right. But I wasn't involved in that, but Doug decided to go after it, and we fought in court over that to a standstill. And it was as big as the state.
Because Doug is actually from Michigan as well.
Yeah. And as big as they are, I still, because I had a real good position with a big company, I still had the money to fight off the TST. And to this day, I mean, we're enemies. I have no want or wherefore. However, being that when I left the Church of Satan was my last day, I became a theistic Satanist. And for those who know what theistic means you believe in Satan as a real entity. So I spent most of my life and most of my studying life deriving the origin. So what I speak of today, as I speak of many things that people don't get, it's not that I am some kind of guru, because I'm not. You can read this.
You have a different perspective or system of Satanism than most people.
Yeah, and where I derive mine from is where Satan's originality came from. Not because Tom said so, but because history says so.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to arrive at that.
Now,
it doesn't make me a better Satanist than you. Okay.
How would you describe your style of Satanism? Because I know you go more for the Mesopotamian stuff. Now, a lot of people who do that, they call themselves disciples of Angra Mainyu or whatnot. Mm-hmm. How would you describe
older than that?
So you go beyond that. It's not Angra Mainyu, it's something older.
I go by nothing derived from today's or the New Age line. Okay, I put a lot of study into it. And I work hand in hand with people from Oxford University, and I'm not name dropping here, but some people who are authors, and I work with people who are involved in Sumerian studies. So yeah, despite being this internet troll, I still have good friends. Okay.
And you really were a bit of a troll back in the day.
Yeah, I'm not scared to admit it. That's the way it goes. But I work with people at a university level, and it's not because I'm some great person or some guru, but I study these things, and I actually have traced the origin prior to Judaism by documentation or by tablets that were written by Sumerians. Now, this is not Tom making this up. Tom didn't discover things like I didn't discover gold pieces on a beach, okay? This is in history. You too could discover what I'm talking about. Whatever I talk about, you can find it, okay? It's written in a tablet.
I'm going to say, watch how you're leaning in the chair.
I'm going to fall out of the chair, fat bastard.
Sorry, our chairs are a little bit rickety, and
right.
I'm sort of sitting here holding on to his chair's arm.
I am hetero. I'm teasing you. Looks like you're holding my hand. I don't lose that. I'm a dick.
Notice his hand is moving around. Tom, put your other hand in frame so people know that I'm not actually.
I know.
And no, I'm not sort of leaning over and doing anything.
Over on the phone over here, but
No, actually, this is a rickety chair, so please do watch how you're leaning.
Yes,
I don't want to
come to a beautiful place and the man's got a rickety chair. I'm in his ritual chamber, which probably is better than 90% of ritual chambers I've been in, and I've been to hundreds. And I mean, this is just a really quaint, nice place we're at right now, and beautiful home. Beautiful home. I'm glad I'm a guest.
Thank you. I really do appreciate that. It's just I don't want you falling out of the chair.
Hey, I don't need to fall out of the chair. Fat bastard like me might not get up. I'd sue you.
Right.
Next thing I'll be trolling him. I'll make 10 blogs about him. I'm joking. I wouldn't do that to this gentleman.
Did you ever make a blog where you mentioned me in it?
No.
No. I know we used to fight the same people, and it turns around and we started making friends with those people later on.
Oh yeah.
You know, they turned out to be nice people. We all got along in the end of the day.
There's one thing that I've always been willing to do. I've always been willing to extend the olive branch if people want to do it back. You know, if not, I'm just going to throw the shit at you on fire.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, if you want to talk, I welcome any dialogue. Anybody in the past I ever fought with, you know, contact me somehow. And you'll see me. I'm on social media, not much just lately, but I'm on social media. I'll still have a conversation with anybody. You can pick up the phone. I'll give you my phone number. I don't hide. Yeah. I've never hide. There's 2 reasons I don't have to hide.
It was actually pretty funny when we first started talking. We were in Left Hand Path Worldwide, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we're still both in there. I actually am a moderator now in there.
I got kicked out the other day.
Oh, you got kicked out? Why?
I don't know. I didn't like it.
Okay.
I don't see any feed. But then again, you know, we got Fascist Book not showing us feeds on whatever else. And I'm doing less and less, you know, that part of the internet with my upcoming. I'm speaking on some new things where I'm going to be on Irish TV, and then I'm going to be at this WitchCon event and doing some things like that I think is going to be good. And I'm actually going to talk not about trolling, but about Samaria and things like that. And
now, here's my question for you, because you do have a different view of Sumerianism. You're no doubt very familiar with the Simon Necronomicon series. Would you say that is closer or further away from what you actually do?
Ooh, you're not going to like this answer. Farther.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Lovecraft would sue 90% of the authors. There's about 1,000 Necronomicons, and they're all derived everything from Bruce Campbell ideas, I guess. I don't know. But none of the deities that appear in the Necronomicon really appear in Sumerian lore or in Mesopotamian lore.
What about
derivatives? They're derivatives. Daemon or Dagon would be later. That would be Assyrian. So at that time period, the Assyrians had mysticism. They were more into mysticism. So they may have created ancillary demons and things like that with different names, yes. Dagon, Marduk.
Because I know a lot. Here's the thing. Now, we know that there is Cthulhian Satanism that spawned off the Lovecraftian rituals of Anton LaVey and H.P. Lovecraft. That's no doubt about it. But when Simon came out with his Necronomicon, he tied it very heavily into Mesopotamian Babylonian stuff. Given your study of history into Mesopotamia, Babylonia, Syria, and that whole area of the world.
Sci-fi novel.
The Simon Necronomicon
Sci-fi novel.
Complete work of fiction.
Sci-fi novel.
There you go.
And the reason I say that, and the only reason I say that, let me preface this, because again, I've had people who, this argument doesn't hold water. I hear it all the time. Just because you've got academic background, just because people have academic, you're stepping on my belief system. You know what? Go woke yourself somewhere else, okay? Mm-hmm. Because I'm here to tell you, you can break these things down. There's nothing that matches Sumerian lore to the lore of the
facts. Do not care about your feelings.
Right. I'm sorry that, you know, so many of you bought the Necronomicon. However, I'll tell you this, Necronomicon, again, it's a book. There's a lot of books out there that you can utilize. You can find a little piece of anything. You could read Donald Trump's book and find a piece you could use in magic, okay? You find things that you can relate to and apply, and because you're allowed to change them. So the Necronomicon has its thing, okay? It really does. It's unfortunate that no one examines the history of it. Some people don't care. A lot of people read the occult and don't care about the history. I do. Sometimes when people approach me, they get angry. And that's the same
with LaVeyan Satanism, is a lot of people out there, they have this one notion of Anton LaVey being a complete atheist. Now, I know you were there later after...
I seen him in atheist form. I call it atheist form.
Atheist form. But even, I've heard from his family, even at that point, he never called himself that. He never referred to himself as an atheist.
Maybe because he rode the rail, without getting into an argument, because I know a lot of people are fans of Anton LaVey, and I'm not a hater of him. But maybe when he evolved to save his kingdom. I've done that. I think many of us have done that. We evolved to save our kingdom. Maybe he went that direction because he found. You got to remember, in that late 80s period, I graduated in 83. So anything after 83, 85, right in that neighborhood, I'm good. I was a Satanist at that point. And I wasn't a Satanist at 2 years old. I've met people who claim that too, but I wasn't, okay? But after that time period, I know a lot about that time period, but LaVey was very focused on, you're your own God, and be your own God, and don't, and hate against God. And sounds like I might be loving God? No. In the Sumerian realm, there's basically a father creator, and he has 2 sons. This isn't me making it up. I'm not trying to preach to you all today, but he has 2 sons. And one was the God of Abraham, was one of his sons, and the other God was the other son. So, and you can read that on your own. I don't need to bore you all with that particular things, but I saw him go to more of an atheist tone, and his later writings are more and more atheist. I don't know if he was bitter that certain things was failing for him, because at the end we had a big decline in the occult. There was a boom from 60s and 70s, and then at the Nixon era, things started to slow down. There was more religious persecution, more government pressure.
It didn't pick up till the late 90s again. That was
right, just before the advent of the internet.
I remember.
Who was that, Al Gore? No, he didn't invent the internet. But it came to be, and then it just kind of, with the internet, it tapered off again. It goes up. It's ebb and flow. Satanism and the occult and all this stuff goes ebb and flow. It'll go up, come down. Goes up, comes down. And that's because...
It's just like any other thing. It trends.
Right.
It trends.
So before you jump off your ship and go leaving Satanism, realize this. People like him and I, we've been in this a long time. Why didn't we leave? Because
it's not because,
you don't abandon your faith, at least in theistic Satanism.
Yeah, it's not because just one person turned out to be an atheist at the end of the day, or were not an atheist. STS has proven quite adamantly that Anton LaVey, you've read some of our articles and whatnot, with the Jansang files and everything, that Anton LaVey was not an atheist. He actually did believe in this stuff, but he was very quiet about it publicly. We don't jump off the bandwagon. We don't jump off the ship just because somebody disagrees with our points of view. Or some X-person didn't believe in this or whatnot. No, we don't do that. What we do is we find our own beliefs in it. And I always tell people, Anton LaVey was really great and whatnot. And I believe you and I were having this discussion earlier today. What a lot of people don't realize is Anton LaVey's most popular time was before the 75 schism. After that, he sort of backed off publicly, really reclused himself, and you really didn't hear too much of him. He would still publish a few books and appear in a few magazines, and very seldomly do a radio interview or a video interview. But everything that we follow Anton LaVey for, and that we're all about him for, happened before 1975. And that's what a lot of people don't stop to think about and whatnot. And that's the thing that a lot of people, when they hear us speak and they find out that STS actually moves on from Anton LaVey. We use them as a base ground.
That's good.
You know, but we develop our own philosophy and have our own literature that is modern, up-to-date canon literature. And if somebody eventually one day writes another book and that outdoes this book, our own literature, I'm not going to get mad about it. Use me as a stepping stone to advance and grow yourself as an individual magician, as a Satanist, and as a person. More foremost. You don't have to be a Satanist to be reading this stuff. You can just read it for your own personal sake and take from it what you need. And I think that's what Anton LaVey originally intended.
You'd be like me and just watch I can just watch Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's
or really, play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, do something like that. No, that's that's the thing. I wouldn't be here today with it. I respect this gentleman. I respect what he's doing in Satanism. I'm not at full speed anymore. I still have a membership base, but certainly this guy's going to go past me. And this is the thing I tell people. I was never mad about people running past me, because all this time, even though a lot of people didn't like me, they were calling me trolls, I still was always building my organization. One time I had...
No matter how bad it got for you, I never saw you waver.
I never would. And the thing is because I'd always keep Satan in my heart. The thing is I see new people coming, and I'm so happy to see these new people coming, because there is hope that Satanism can carry on. Because even though I go back to that 40 years, nothing really went on. Every day this man gets up and he's got the hope that things are going to move forward. And that's inspiring people like me. Maybe I didn't know of the hope. Maybe I didn't know how to do things over 40 years. But you know what? Maybe he's got it. If he don't have it, maybe the next guy's got it.
Exactly.
But as long as somebody keeps it in the realm of somebody being able to see it, be it the internet, media, videos, or VR one day, or Meta one day, or whatever, whatever the new technology is, it's important for people to carry on. This organization that he's running here is I've seen it, looks to me like it's going to work out good. I encourage people to sign up. If you like the old school Archie Bunker method, you can come see me. But again, that's if you don't like me, then I understand. I don't fucking like you either then.
Even if you don't like this guy, I'd say, hey, go listen to him. He's got some good knowledge.
I'm going to talk a lot more. I'm coming back out. And those of you remember, District Channel.
You may want to punch him and everything at times, but I tell you what, it's worth listening to him. And I'm going to be honest with you, Tom.
What?
The beard looks good.
Does it? Okay, thank you.
Keep the beard.
If I grow it longer and I wear a hat, I'd be like ZZ Top or something.
I don't know about doing ZZ Top, but you have this whole pseudo Gilmore look going on.
You know what? I keep wanting to shave my beard off, but I managed to meet one of the, I managed to meet my new love of my life, and she tells me to keep my beard, and sometimes you got to acquiesce, no matter how big of a Satanist you are.
I've seen her pictures, and she is a gorgeous woman.
Thank you. Thank you very much. But I got to acquiesce. I'm stubborn. I told her I want to dye my hair. She goes, leave your hair gray, leave it salt, pepper, whatever.
Sometimes we just got to show our age.
Yeah. It's like, you be this badass Satanist all your life and big and bad, but, it's easy. The minute you say no to a woman or you do something wrong, you end up in the doghouse.
Yeah.
I don't want to end up there.
So we're going to wrap this up here and whatnot. We're going to go ahead and start wrapping this up. We've been yapping for almost 40 minutes now.
I didn't even know. I lose track. Have a conversation with me, bring a fucking pillow. He goes, I gotta go. I know why he's gotta go. I've had 2-hour conversation. He looks at his phone and goes, Jesus Christ, Tom, he's real talking.
Yep. We've spoke on the phone. There's been times, he's not kidding. We've spoken for 2-3 hours. Hell, there was one time where we spoke for 6 hours on the phone?
Yeah, I didn't know it. I'm looking down and go, holy shit, my phone's
on we blew a whole day just talking
on
the phone and whatnot. And it was like, holy fuck, we gotta go. We gotta do shit. And the day's already over. I wake up and get on the phone with him like at 10 a.m. and it's like 6 p.m. by the time I get off.
There's so much to talk about everything, and again, we could do 20 videos, and him and I, we have, you know what I mean. But again,
we can make a whole video series.
Watch out for this guy's. Watch out for this guy's new group. I'm telling you what, it's going to move fast and furious. Okay, and get on board if you like what this guy has to say, and watch his videos and stuff. Like and share. I'm not good at making videos. I'm sorry to my people that like me,
but
you're all fucked.
Yeah, so this has been a very rare sit down with Tom Blackwood, Grand Magister Blackwood.
Thank you.
And
I enjoy. You know, I come down here to the beautiful area you're in, and
thank you.
I developed a new friendship that I think will stay for the rest of my life, and I'm so happy. So, thank you.
And you know, for those who were not around, Tom and I go back. I mean, we don't go back personally, hanging out or talking 15 plus years. We go back to a different time where we were both in the same situation. I was still very new to the world of Satanism. I was coming from Wicca and whatnot, and I was on the My Satan website. Tom was on there. We were having clashes with White Star Acceptance, Chloe Ortega, and others. And that was still back when Joy of Satan was still mildly respectable, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a lot of people back in the day. I remember everybody was, you guys were all just little shits.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
No, you're right though. Hell, I had only been in Satanism for a couple of years.
Yeah, you guys were newbies, and I was not nice to newbies, and I don't know why, but no.
Well, you never had any problem with me.
No, I never argue with you, right? I tried to argue with, you know what? Like I said, come after me. I was coming after. Most people realize, and at one time, and I don't have regrets for what I did. I've done some dirty things to people, whether it be, you know, getting lose jobs, whatever.
Drifting out of frame there.
You know, people blood on their doorsteps or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of things I've done, and I'm not scared to admit it. But I'm a little more relaxed nowadays. But I'll still fucking burn your fucking car down if I had to. Okay. I ain't going nowhere.
But
nuts.
We never clashed directly, but we clashed with the same people. And I know you took note of me being out there. I was running the small group Dark Church Satan at that time, and that went belly up pretty quickly. But I still went ahead and I wrote my book really quick. You know, I got it out on the market. I finished writing it in 2009. It didn't get out onto the market till about 2011. But
I remember I picked it up. I remember I ordered it, and I don't remember where I ordered it from.
It would have to have been Lulu.
Was it?
Maybe Amazon.
I ran it across, and I was like, and I to those of you who know me, I've had thousands of books in my hand of different books, and I'm not autistic. I just read fast, okay? And I speed read, so I skip, and I read the content, and I retain a lot of content. Well, I read your book, I liked it. And then I didn't know you had other books. You know what I mean? It's just like I bought.
Well, I didn't up until recently.
Okay,
up till
I didn't know. So
I didn't start publishing again until I had one other published, which was a novel, and I published that a few years back. Forget what year I did my initial publishing on that, and I had to take it off the market because Amazon was screwing me out of a lot of money on it, and then I put it back on the market, and then I started publishing. I published the second edition of the Testament, and then I published a Black Grimoire, and the Top Secret Priesthood Manual.
See, I didn't know that until we were talking again, that you had these other books out there, because I didn't know that. But that's, biased books, they're great books. I'm telling you, I'm not paid, okay?
No, I'm not paying them shit.
I ate here.
Yeah, I made him a hamburger.
All right, man. There you go. Enough for me. Protein Maximus.
Yeah, I made him a hamburger, and I guess you can crash on my couch for the night on your trip up north.
All right.
But, yeah, I'm not paying him, though.
Yeah, I'm not a paid spokesperson for his great book or for his great little magazine, okay? It's a good magazine. Pick it up.
Yep.
Like and share his content, too.
Yeah. So, with that, we're going to go ahead and sign off. You can see on how we can just prattle back and forth all night long.
Dude, we can be here 4.5 hours if you want. Bring a pillow. Come on down.
Maybe sometime we'll do a live stream, but not this time around.
Right.
So, you all have a good night. If you like actually seeing the real Grand Magister Blackwood, hearing what he has to say in person, sitting next to another person, I'm going to tell you, a lot of what is out there on the internet about this man is old information, and it's because people didn't like hearing straight talk back then. We really didn't like hearing straight talk. And that's what a lot of the fights were about, because everybody had their own version of straight talk and whatnot. And
that was its own woke movement back then.
It really was. It really was. But fortunately, it didn't do damage to the country like the new stuff. But we can only do so much now. So, anyways, I would suggest I'll be linking to his content that he has out.
Thanks, bro.
On here. He does some podcasts and everything. And so I'll be putting out the link to his content in the description below. You can find...
I still shout on my podcast, by the way. And I swear, I'm not politically correct.
And I'll also put a link down below to the Cloven Hoof and whatnot. And
I'll follow LeVay's family. Pick that up if you can, okay, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah. Give them a helping hand out. It was really unfortunate on how Stanton passed away.
Yeah.
A lot of people really did like him.
I met him. Him and I we talked for 10, 15 minutes. I met him I won't get into the type of club it was, but met him, nice guy. Him and I had a good conversation. This was back when he owned a store. And he invited me to go to a store. I don't know if he solely owned it or whatever.
Yeah.
But he had a store, I think, in West Hollywood.
Yeah.
And he gave me a business card and told me to come over there and he'd give me 10% off. I mean, we had a brief conversation. Didn't talk about LeVay, didn't talk about Satanism. He knew who I was and back and forth.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So, yeah, there you go. Stanton was a really good guy and everything. And
I did a lot of traveling. So when people realize I met a lot of people, folks, in Satanism. I met a ton of people. I traveled for 10 years.
Well, it's good that we can meet each other and talk about things. Anyway, so
thank you.
That's Grand Magister Blackwood. Like, share, subscribe. You guys all know the routine. Tell us what you think down in the comments below. Do you like this guy? Do you hate this guy? Do you want to hang him by his toenails and shoot him in the head?
Yeah, come on, troll me, boys.
He's used to it.
I'm used to that shit, so thanks.
And whatnot. I think we both are, because we both piss people off.
Yeah.
Anyways, you all have a good night, and until next time, tell me what you think in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. I'm Lucifer Lakeborn for the Satanic Thulian Society. Grand Magister Tom Blackwood for the Temple of the Serpent.
Thank you.
And we are out of here.
Thank you, bro.